Hi guys! Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Rai, and today pag-uusapan natin yung timeline and yung naging journey ko as international student here in Canada. Well, I do have my laptop here. I did some scripting sa video na to kasi ayoko naman medyo scramble yung idea natin. Especially this is going to talk about my timeline. So, para makatulong din sa inyo, magkaroon ng idea kung gaano kabilis, gaano katagal yung approval, and ano-ano yung mga preparations na ginawa ko for the student pathway. Okay, so I decided to make this video solely to help fellow dreamers to have an idea on how life has been here in Canada. And syempre, everything that I will share is based on my experience, my research. Hindi lahat ng babanggitin ko possibly maging applicable sa inyo. Pero for sure, meron kayong matututunan and may makukuha kayong idea when you are going to process na your own student permit. So let's start with a little background about myself. To begin with, I'm a registered nurse in the Philippines before I went here in Canada. I graduated batch 2012, had my Philippine license also in 2012. But noong 2012, ito yung mga panahon na sobrang hirap makapasok ng work as a nurse kasi sobrang boom ng nursing career noon. Daming graduates, daming students, so yung mga hospital overstaff naman. You have to deal with a lot of certificates, trainings, kailangan mo magbayad sa hospital. Sadly, nagkaroon ng ganong season and isa ko doon sa batch na yun na hindi agad nakapag work sa hospital. Wala na talagang option but to choose another way para magkaroon ng experience. Syempre, graduate kang nurse, gusto mo mag-work as a nurse, diba? So, I chose the company nurse. Manufacturing company hired me as a fresh graduate nurse, thankfully. At that time, yung company nurse nila is under the HR department. Na-expose din ako sa mga task ng pagiging HR, which I instantly loved. Hanggang sa time goes by, nagpalipat-lipat na ako ng company as HR. From HR assistant, naging senior HR specialist na ako, leaving my career behind. It took me 7 years to feel the need to go back sa career na nursing. Hindi man ako nang hinayang because gusto ko naman yung ginagawa ko as an HR. Yun nga lang, parang may something na hinahanap-hanap ka pa din since hindi mo na-practice yung talagang pinag-aralan mo and ginusto mo. It was a really hard decision kasi I see my future in HR as my career, but my aspiration to see the world is still there. So, I need to make it happen. So, 2019, when I decided to go back to nursing and work in a hospital. So, since then, I had 3 years experience in a hospital setting. 2 years doon is under a special unit, but parang clinic work lang yung ginagawa ko, meaning parang admin works. Dumating yung COVID pandemic, they need to transfer me sa emergency room until such time na I decided to move closer sa bahay. So I changed hospital, I moved closer to where my family is. Job hunting started 2021. Nag-start na talaga ako manood ng mga vlogs kung saan-saan may mga potential na opportunities during that research time na in-love ako sa Canada. Sobrang ganda. So, sabi ko, this is my dream country. Based sa mga research nun, mas madaling makapunta sa US, sa UK. Start na akong mag-apply sa workabroad.com. I initially applied sa US, sa UK, may Germany pa nga. Sabi ko, uy, mukhang challenging naman yung German language. Tapos, may allowance pa na pinaprovide while you're studying language nila. Nakapasok ako sa Germany. pasok na. As in, I need to gain lang knowledge and certificate ng German language. Magsa-sign up na lang talaga ako. Until someone contacted me from an agency na nag-a-assist daw sila ng mga Filipinos wanting to go to Canada as international student. It hit me, meron palang ganun. So, isip ako ng malala. Choose your battle, ika nga. Either you take NCLEX or US, take IELTS, and then prepare for OSCE for UK. You take the language exam ng Germany, or harapin mo yung gastos ng pagpunta sa Canada as international student. And the rest is history. Pagkuha ng student permit. So, dito ko na i-discuss yung timeline ko sa pagkuha ng study permit. Sa pagkuha ng study permit, ang unang-una niyong gagawin is yung IELTS. IELTS is International English Language Test System na isa lang siya out of, I think, mga 6 ata yung ways for you to test your English language proficiency. Marami accredited naman si Canada, but I chose IELTS. Since you will be a student, you need IELTS academic. Dalawa kasi yan. So, isang general, isang academic. For permanent resident application, yun yung general test na kukunin mo. Pero, kapag student ka, academic. Okay? Usually, academic test, mas bababa yung scores na kailangan nila, yung required. You need to pass a minimum of 6.0 to 6.5 without a minimum score of 5.5 or 6.0 in each test. I will create another video regarding my IELTS experience to discuss din yung mga pointers ba sa pag-take ng IELTS. So I took my IELTS exam noong January 10, 2022, and thankfully, na-meet ko naman yung required na scores. After 3 days, ma-result na. After that is, nagpa-schedule na ako ng medical exam. Kasi in-advise na din akong magpa-schedule ng upfront, yung tawag nila upfront medical exam, kahit wala pang request yung immigration ng Canada. Kasi noon, sobrang haba ng pila. Parang abutin ka ng 2 months to 3 months before ka magka-schedule. So, ngayon, nung February pa lang, sinuggest na nila na magpa-schedule na ako, which I did. And the earliest date na available or nang may slot is May 2022. So, ilan yun? February, March, April, May. 3 months na. So, di ba ang tagal? So, buti na lang ginawa ko yan. And then, Feb 14, nag-apply na kami sa school of choice and magsasubmit sa kanila ng letter of intent ng application mo, and then magbabayad ka na din ng reservation fee. Bakit ako tumagal dito? Kasi kailangan ko ng reservation fee, ng pambayad. Dito pa lang may gastos na, so you really need to plan ahead. And then, after 15 days, naka-receive na ako ng letter of acceptance from school. So, naka-enroll ako sa 1-year program sa isang DLI school sa Ottawa under Personal Support Worker Program. Kung gusto niyong malaman kung ano yung ginagawa ng mga personal support worker, healthcare aid, yan, nursing assistant dito sa Canada, I made a separate video. I think that was my very first video na in-upload ko dito sa channel na to. Balikan nyo na lang, or I will link the video here or here. Next, March 2, 2022, na-receive ko nga yung letter of acceptance from school. So, ano lang siya, kung titignan natin, parang 15 days lang siya since nagpasa kami ng letter of intent for admission sa school. And then, March 14, 2022, nag-lodge na kami ng application sa IRCC for student visa. Kasi isa sa mga requirements yung LOA or yung letter of acceptance from school, na accepted ka na ng school and may slot ka na dun for the program that you chose. Ayan, natagalan to ng konti kasi bukod dito, may mga hingi pang mga documents sa akin yung agency na nag-help ng pag-lodge. So, after 24 hours, March 15, nagpadala na ng request for biometrics si IRCC. Agad-agad ko naman syempre itong ginawa. Yung IRCC login nyo, meron silang ipapadala doon na instruction. So, hindi naman kayo mawawala. You know what to do, you know where to schedule, saan kayo pupunta for the biometrics. Yun lang, read thoroughly yung instruction nila kasi doon nakalagay ano lang yung pwede mong dalhin, ano yung mga hindi pwedeng dalhin during your biometrics. So, just follow the instruction. March 28, naka-receive na din ako ng request for medical exam. So, remember, nagpa-schedule na tayo, diba? February pa lang meron na akong slot, which is May. Ito lang tumagal yung process kasi nga parang 2 months yung inantay ko. I think ngayon mas mabilis na yung schedule nila. So, hindi nyo na kailangang mag-advance schedule. Yun yung alam ko ha. May 23rd, yun yung slot ko for the medical exam. I went to St. Luke's, Ermita, extension clinic ata nila to. Dito lahat nagpapamedical exam yung mga mag-a-abroad. Mga seaman, yung mga OFW, yan, yung mga kailangan magpasa sa mga employers ng medical exam. Dito lahat sila. Meron naman, may isa pa. Nakalimutan ko yung pangalan ng isa. Pero may branches din ito. Hindi para sa mga nasa probinsya, hindi nyo kailangan like pumunta ng Manila for this one. Meron ding ibang branches. I-search nyo na lang kung sakali. Kasi meron lang silang list of accredited doctors na pwedeng mag-examine sa inyo. Okay? So, June 7, 10 days after ng medical exam, nag-confirm na yung IRCC na na-receive na daw nila yung result ng medical exam ko. So, by this time, waiting game na lang to. So, July 1st, this is Canada Day. So, I received an email na may update daw sa IRCC ko. I was not really hoping kasi holiday sa Canada. And yet, yun, pagka-open ko ng IRCC account ko, passport request na. So, July 5, I sent my passport as instructed sa letter of request ng IRCC. May instruction ulit sila, detailed instruction, paano nyo isi-send yung passport nyo. I think pwede through personal or through courier. May mga allowed lang na courier sila. And then, July 8, nag-update na ulit yung IRCC account ko and it shows that my application is approved. Yay! So, I received back my passport after a few days. Meron na siyang student permit dun sa isang page dun sa passport. So, I was so happy. It's a dream come true for me. And ilang buwan ba to? March, nag-lodge tayo sa IRCC. So, March, April, May, June, July, 3 months to 4 months, meron na tayong study permit. So, ganun lang. Okay. By this time, we are now set to buy plane ticket. Prep na for my departure. Print na lahat ng mga documents na kailangan i-print. And then, kailangan na din mag-search ng apartment. Natutuluyan mo, syempre. Kailangan yung apartment. Tumatanggap sila ng international students kasi minsan, sa apartment sa Canada, kailangan nila ng co-signee na nandito na sa Canada. May mga iba, naswertehan lang din namin na may Pinoy na nagpaparent ng bahay niya and she's allowing international students kasi alam niya yung situation. So, okay lang kahit walang advance. Pag dating mo doon ka na magbayad sa kanya. So, yun yung maganda. So, para sa inyo, kung wala kayong kakilala, Facebook Marketplace lang talaga kami nag-search before. And sa mga Pinoy group. Yan. Flight to Canada. So, dumating na yung time na departure time na natin, no? So, August 24 was my departure date from Manila to Toronto. 3 hours layover lang tayo sa Toronto and then straight to Ottawa. So, ang date ng dating ko sa Ottawa is August 25, 2022. And luckily, mga schoolmates ko na nakilala ko din through that agency ay nauna sa akin ng 1 week. So, they know when I'm coming. Ayos na lahat sa bahay. Talagang tapos yung landlady namin nag-offer ng sundo sa akin sa airport. But, syempre, nakakaya. And nag-offer yung school naman ng first day services, which is yung sunduin ka nila sa airport to your accommodation. And then, kinabukasan, sasamahan ka nila sa pagkuha ng SIN, sa pagkuha ng SIM card, and saka pagkuha ng bank. Yan, bank account. So, yun yung grinab ko kasi nga nakakaya naman. Although, Pinay naman yung landlady namin. So, very, very accommodating. May mga iba din akong kabatch na kasabay ko nung flight. Magkakaiba lang kami ng seat number. So, sila nakiusap nga dun sa landlady na Pinay na sunduin sila. So, nakilala ko pa rin yung landlady during that night. By the way, ang start ng classes is September 6 pa. But I went there 2 weeks ahead. So, kung nagtataka kayo bakit 2 weeks early yung flight, kung pwede ba yun? Yes, pwede yun. It's possible. Kasi you need to prepare yourself. You need to know your surroundings. You need to know where you're going before before the school starts. So, ito yung preparation mo for the weather, for the place that you're staying, kung may mga kailangan kang bilhin, groceries, registering sa SIN or yung social insurance number, SIM card, banks, etc., etc. All these, you need to become successful while you are a student in your new home. At least for a year for us, diba? So, malaking adjustment yung gagawin mo. Hindi lang naman siya yung parang pumunta ka ng ibang probinsya ng Pilipinas. Hindi. So, ito, totally different culture, total different ways of living. So, yun. Which is, ina-advise din naman ni Government of Canada na pumunta ka ahead of time. Yan. Ayan, so, for the school, and so, I've mentioned, one year program kami. So, nag-start kami ng September. This is fall intake. September 6, and then parang 1 week winter break lang. Tapos tuloy-tuloy yung school until we finished April 2023. 8 months lang yung buong school na yun. But, since considered siya ng school na 1-year program, i-consider siya ni Canada ng 1-year program. So, your PGWP will be 1 year. Okay? Will I be able to work while I am in a student permit? Good question. If you don't know it yet, yes, you can. You are eligible to work as long as may in-issue sa inyong co-op work permit nung pagtungtong nyo ng Canada. Now, pagdating namin dun sa Toronto, dadaan ka pa din ng immigration eh. May isang area for all international students. Then, remember yung prepare namin, ipapaprint mo na documents. Meron dun kasi, pag meron ka ng study permit, sa IRCC account mo, meron dong letter ikaw na kailangang i-print. Yun ay ibibigay mo sa immigration officer. So, pagdating mo ng Toronto or ng Vancouver, kung sa Vancouver ka, punta ka, diba, pupunta muna kayo ng immigration to clear out. Ihanda mo yun, i-ready mo yun, and then yung passport mo na may isang page nga ng study permit. And, nung batch namin, merong inabot na parang form na maliit na gano'n na kailangan mong fill outan. Ano lang naman, details mo lang, information mo, kailan ka umalis ata ng bansa, ng home country mo. Parang gano'n, mga information, address mo, etc., etc. kapag turn mo na sa IO, abot mo nga yung passport, yung paper na pinaprint mo, and then kung may paper pa na papafill outan sa inyo. Just not sure. And then, sa akin wala namang tinanong. Unless may nakita silang parang questionable. Pero kung wala naman, relax ka lang. Just wait for them to ask anything, or after nyan, kasi may document na i-issue sa inyo. So, parang ganito siya. Teka lang, may information ko eh. Parang ganito siya. So, special paper to ng Canada. Sa immigration, ipiprint to sa inyo. Hindi to maibibigay kasi parang ano siya eh, may anong tawag doon, naka-emboss. Anong tawag doon? Yung parang ayun, parang may snow something na basta yun. Naka-dry seal siya. So, wag nyo itong wawalain. So, dalawa dapat to. Isang study permit, isang co-op work permit. Kung ina-allow ng course nyo na mag-co-op work permit kayo. Yung co-op work permit na yun, nakatie up siya sa study permit mo para eligible kang mag-work sa Canada. So, for example, yung course mo is you will undergo practicum sa institution or sa ibang company. Dapat may work permit ka. So, yun yung co-op work permit. Okay? But, hindi ibig sabihin na meron ka nun, pwede ka nang mag-work all out. Okay? So, every now and then, may updates ang Government of Canada sa number of hours lang na pwedeng i-work ng isang international student sa Canada. Okay? Maximum before, nung time namin, 20 hours per week lang max. Equivalent siya sa part-time hours ng mga workers dito. Luckily, nung November 2022, change nila yon. Nag-adjust yung Government of Canada due to shortage of manpower nung COVID. So, nag-allow sila ng no maximum hours for international students. So, pwede na kami mag-work full-time. Full-time hours, gusto mo 24 hours nag-work ka. Pwede, pero alam mo yun, kailangan mo pa rin i-prioritize yung school mo. Di ka pwedeng parang umabsent because may work ka. Ang priority mo at ang pinunta mo sa Canada ay yung pag-study mo. Okay? Kasi maraming nag-abuso niyan. Kaya, eto, naghigpit na naman sila. Imbis na nagluwag na, naghigpit na naman sila. So, by this time na sinushoot ko to, I think 24 hours per week at max. Yun na yung maximum hours na pwedeng i-work ng international student. So, yun. So, mahirap inaabuso kasi okay naman ang immigration before. Ngayon, naghihigpit sila ng naghihigpit because they know na maraming umaabuso, maraming nag-fake ng documents nila just because ang student permit ay nagiging way talaga for a permanent resident. Pero yun nga, you have to follow their rules and you have to meet naman their expectations as international student. Okay? You have to be very careful and be up to date sa mga changes ni IRCC kasi kapag nag-violate ka ng rules nila, possibly mapadeport ka or hindi ka maging eligible for postgraduate work permit, and worst case scenario, hindi ka maging eligible for permanent resident. Okay? Very crucial. Just follow instruction. I'd say ang dami mo nang pinagdaanan, ang dami mong ginastos, tapos one wrong move will make you, all of these be for nothing. Diba? So much information with this very long video. I'm so sorry guys. So, i-continue na lang natin to sa susunod na video. And what's next will be, I'll be making a PGWP journey naman. So, Hopefully, nagka-idea kayo sa video na to, and if you have any questions na gusto nyong sagutin ko regarding international student, or meron kayong topic na gusto nyong i-discuss ko, anything about my life here in Canada, and you are interested because you're going here, probably you're already here, i-comment nyo lang sa video na to, and then I'll try to plan it out and give you as much information as I could. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button para alam ko lang kung gusto niyo yung mga gantong topic. I would say definitely madami ang may kailangan ng mga gantong information, specifically sa process ng Canada, and hindi naman tayo lahat confident pagdating sa pag process ng mga gantong documents, 'di ba? So, yun lang. As much as I could, I will help. Ito naman yung goal ng YouTube channel na to. Hindi lang siya lifestyle. Hindi lang siya yung everyday ko dito sa Canada. But, as much as I can, I wanted to help. Itong study permit ko na to, with the help to ng agency. But after that, wala na. Everything is DIY. Everything was research on my end. Even naman nung papunta ko dito, I did all my research. Hindi lang ako basta nag-rely dun sa agency. And I would say, kayang-kaya ng kahit sino, as long as, yun, with proper research and proper reading and comprehension, yung mga instructions nila, very user-friendly. Si Canada.ca. Yun yung website, official website ng Canada, and lahat nandun. So, yun lang. Napahaba na ng daldal. Okay. Napahaba na naman, and yeah, subscribe na lang kayo. By the way, this video would be probably a series regarding pathway to PR. Okay? So, yun lang. I'll see you in the next.